friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Maheshwal Steno. Today I am going to give you a dictation at 100 words per minute. So get ready, 5 seconds to go. The respondent who was employed as a teacher under the government of Haryana claimed advance increments in terms of Punjab government memo dated 1st September 1960. The Director of Secondary Education Haryana rejected the claim on the premise that in terms of Rule 10 of the Punjab Education Service Class 3rd School Cadre Rules 195, the pay scales of the teachers were subject to variation from time to time, and since the state of Haryana revised the pay scales of various categories of teachers with effect from 1st September 1967. Memo dated 1st September 1960 stood superseded. He also observed that higher start of pay with advance increments for postgraduate qualification was provided only to masters or mistresses and not to other categories of teachers. The High Court allowed the writ petitions and directed that the respondent be given advance increments in terms of the Punjab government memo and the letter of the government of Haryana. Aggrieved, the state of Haryana filed the appeal. The teachers employed under the government of Haryana could claim benefit of the higher pay scales, advance increments, etc. in terms of the policy decision taken by the government of undivided Punjab and instructions issued by it only till the revision of their pay scales, which were made effective from 1st December 1967 and not thereafter. The question of revision of pay scales of the teachers employed under the government of Haryana was considered by the Education Commission, which is also known as Kothari Commission. The recommendations made by that commission were accepted by the President of India and were implemented by the state government with effect from 1st December 1967. After revision of the pay scales of various categories of teachers, the government of Haryana issued instructions for grant of monetary benefits in the form of personal pay to those government servants who improved their qualifications by undertaking further studies within the country and abroad. Further, by letter, all the existing instructions were superseded and fresh instructions were issued on the subject. However, the decisions contained in letter and other related communications were withdrawn by the state government by their letter. The High Court erred in accepting the plea of the respondents that revision of the pay scales of teachers with the retrospective date did not result in automatic supersession of the existing policy decision. The appellant married the daughter of respondent number 1 as per the Islamic rites and customs. Two children were born out of the wedlock. Appellant's wife died after 13 years of marriage, and within a year he married again respondent number 1, maternal grandfather, respondent numbers 2, 3, and 4, maternal aunt and uncles of the minor children, girl aged 13 years and boy aged 5 years, initiated proceedings under Section 7, 9, and 17 of the Guardian and Wards Act 1890 for appointment as guardians. They also filed application under Section 12 of the Act praying for interim protection of the persons and properties of the minor children and also for an injunction restraining the appellant from interfering or disturbing the custody of the minor children. Family Court passed an interim order restraining the appellant from interfering with the custody of the children with the respondent. Appellant challenged the order. Family Court set aside the said order of injunction. High Court set aside the said order and passed certain directions. Hence, the present appeal was made by the appellant in this court. Sections 12 of the Guardian and Wards Act 1890 empowers court to make such order for the temporary custody and protection of the person or property of the minor as it thinks proper. In matters of custody, welfare of the children is the sole and single yardstick by which the court shall assess the comparative welfare of the children is the sole and single yardstick by which the court shall assess the comparative merit of the parties contesting for custody. Therefore, while deciding the question of interim custody, the court must be guided by the welfare of the children since empowers the court to make any order as it deems proper. With regard to guardianship, the prima facie case lies in favor of the father as under section 19 of the Act unless the father is not fit to be a guardian. The court has no jurisdiction to appoint another guardian. Respondents, despite the voluminous allegations leveled against the appellant, have not been able to prove that he is not fit to take care of the minor children, nor has the family court or the high court found him so. However, the question of custody is different from the question of guardianship. The father can continue to be the natural guardian of the children. So friends, don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel for more related videos and press the bell icon for instant notifications. Thank you.